Good morning. for our final year to start the conference with a prayer.
Everyone kindly stand for the prayer and close your eyes. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here today for the Extreme Internal Conference on Information System and Smart System in the year of 2024, we come before you with the hearts full of gratitude and mind open to new ideas and innovations. We thank you for the opportunity to converse, share knowledge, and collaborate for the advancement of technology and society. Guide our discussions, presentations, and interactions throughout this conference, that they may be fruitful and impactful. Bless all the speakers, organizers, participants, and guests present here today. May our time together be marked by respect, understanding, and friendship, fostering a spirit of cooperation and mutual learning. We offer this prayer in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Kanishka. Now I invite Mrs. M. Shenbagavalli, HOD of PC Department, to deliver and welcome address.
Good morning, one and all. It's my honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to all of you as we gather here today for the International Conference on Information Technologies and Smart Systems 2024, organized by the Department of CSE, EC and EEE. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed speakers for this session, Professor Mohammad M. Alani, Department of Cyber Security, Seneca Polytechnic, Toronto, Canada. He discussed that the topic is IoT-based society, a security-first approach. Welcome, sir. Afternoon session, Dr. Celestine Ivente, Research Coordinator, School of Creative Technology, University of Bolton, United Kingdom. He discussed that the topic is Unleashing the Potential, Innovative Research in Information Technologies and Smart Systems. Tomorrow's session, Dr. B. Sundar Vadivalahan, Department of Information Technology, University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Oman. He discussed that the topic is Securing the Future, Empowering the Next Generation with Cybersecurity Awareness. Their expertise and passion are at the heart of this conference. Your willingness to share your knowledge and experiences is truly invaluable, and I have no doubt that your contributions will inspire and enlighten us all. Welcome, one and all. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our administrator, Reverend Sister Hamlet, whose leadership and direction have been crucial in bringing us all together on this day. Welcome, sister. It's with great pleasure that we extend a warm welcome to you as our esteemed principal, Dr. Rajkumar. We are thrilled to have someone of your experience, dedications, and vision leading our institution. Your leadership will undoubtedly inspire both students and faculty alike to reach new heights of excellence. Welcome, sir. I would like to welcome our participants from various colleges on behalf of ICITSS 2024. Welcome, one and all. I extend a warm welcome to our various department HODs. Welcome, sirs and ma'ams. And then I extend a warm welcome to our coordinators. And then I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to the organizers and volunteers who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event possible. Once again, welcome, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mohammad M. Alani, a distinguished figure in cybersecurity and network engineering, with a PhD in computer engineering, specialization in network security. Dr. Alani's expertise spans academia and industry, from roles at Ryerson University to his current position as a cybersecurity professor at Seneca Polytechnic. His influence has been felt globally, serving as a cybersecurity program manager and contributing to academia and consultancy in the Middle East. As a research fellow at Toronto Metropolitan University and an Asian distinguished speaker, Dr. Alani's insight, backed up by 23 journal publications, 5 books, 6 book chapters, 21 conference papers, and 2 theses, which are highly respected. Today, he will share his expertise on why IoT security is more important now than ever, highlighting the critical need to safeguard IoT in the interconnected world. Let me start the session.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Uh, can I confirm that you can see my screen? Okay, that's great. Well, thank you very much for the kind invitation. It is an honor and a pleasure to be with you today to have a small discussion about the importance of IoT security in our world. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. My name is Mohammed Alani. I'm a professor of cybersecurity at Seneca Polytechnic in Toronto, Canada. And I also serve as a research fellow at the Cybersecurity Research Lab in Toronto Metropolitan University. So, my presentation to you today is titled IoT Based Society, a Security First Approach. Uh, First of all, this is the outline of my presentation today. What is IoT and why does it matter now? How big is the IoT market? And we'll talk a little bit about IoT contexts and uh, examples of IoT breaches in the past few years. And then we'll move on to discuss categories of threats and security challenges in IoT. And finally, we will discuss solutions and how we're expected to address the problem of IoT security. So, yeah, that's just a little bit of an introduction about me. I don't think that there is a need for this after the wonderful introduction earlier. So, what is IoT and why does it matter now? So, the Internet of Things are basically devices that are connected to the internet, and they're designed to perform a very limited number of tasks using sensors and actuators. These devices have sensors that read something from around us. It could be reading temperature, it could be a light sensor, it could be any different kind of sensor. And usually they would have also actuators that would take action based on the reading of the sensors. Uh, there is a significant growth in the adoption of IoT. Billions of devices are being activated every year around the world, and it's becoming more and more ubiquitous around us. And if you want to think about IoT, think about the street lights and how the specific time is chosen for street lights to work. Think about wearable devices like these small watches that we wear and walk around with all day long. These are all IoT devices. Think about smart cameras, think about smart lights, smart TVs, and a lot of smart devices that we use on daily basis. And uh, our reliance on these devices is absolutely unprecedented. We have not adopted that many devices in our lives uh, in history before. And the rate of growth of IoT adoption has exceeded mobile phone growth by far. The number of currently active IoT devices is so much higher than mobile phones and smartphones by very far. So, with IoT being an important part of our daily lives, we need to consider how big is the IoT market. Why are we having this discussion now? We see steady growth in adoption of IoT devices and steady growth in the market of IoT devices. These numbers are spending on IoT in billions of US dollars. So it's about 1 trillion in 2022, 1.1 trillion US dollars around the world in 2023, with much higher expected growth in 2024. So, with a market that big, I believe that security is something that needs to be discussed and needs to be discussed right now. So, where do we find IoT devices? Uh, IoT devices can be used in industrial context. In most factories that work around us, they have different types of IoT devices that are connected to networks, controlled through networks, sometimes connected to the internet and controlled through the internet. And we'll talk a lot about the industrial IoT context. It's a very important one. Internet of medical things. Uh, wearable devices that measures heart rates, blood pressure, oxygen levels, and we're having even new heart monitors that are internet connected. All of these are different devices that are considered few of the most important examples of IoT because they contribute to the quality of life of people directly. And because of that, it's one of the most important IoT contexts. Smart home environments, I think all of us would love to have a smart home that does things for you instead of you working around the house. And these smart home environments would have smart lights, they would have smart air conditioning, smart cameras, smart refrigerators, all of the smart devices that are growing more and more every day inside our houses. Uh, One interesting IoT context as well is automotive IoT. While many people don't see this, in reality, self-driving cars are actually IoT devices. They have a lot of sensors, a lot of actuators. They communicate with the environment. They consume a lot of input data. They generate a lot of information and logs and interact with the environment around them. And self-driving cars are a very good example of IoT devices as well. Currently, we are witnessing a revolution in agriculture where IoT devices are becoming more and more usable in agriculture and helping us control and monitor and uh, have a better future in terms of agriculture using IoT devices. Retail industries, of course, whenever we have a new technology, retail industries have to have their share, and they employ IoT in many different contexts. We see the payless supermarkets growing around the world where you don't have to pay with a card anymore. You register and then you pass by and it sees your face, and the payment is done. You don't even need to stop at a cashier anymore. And there are so many other IoT contexts. It's just that these are the more visible examples that we see every day, and they uh, get us to think more about the importance of IoT security. Now, let's move slightly to the darker side. Let's talk about examples of IoT breaches. Uh, Data breaches are happening around us every day. I am absolutely sure that most of us in the past year or so, we have heard about one business that we deal with that have been hacked in the past 1 or 2 years. And dealing with a business that have been hacked is always a source of anxiety, and people worry, what happens to my data? Is my data going to end up on the dark web? Maybe it could cause a lot of issues later on. And IoT breaches are no less important than this. Let's start from the older one. In 2016, there was a very famous botnet attack. So just to brief you about the idea of a botnet is a special type of malware that gives control. Whenever it infects a device, it gives control over that device to the attacker. So what the attacker does, they infect a very large number of devices, and then the goal is not to capture the data of these devices. It's actually to use these devices to attack someone else. One of the most successful botnets in history was Mirai botnet. In 2016, there was a point of time where Mirai botnet was controlling over 145,000 devices. Imagine having an electronic army of 145,000 IoT devices around the world that you can just point to a target, and all of these devices will attack that target. And that happened. Mirai botnet was used at that time for several attacks that were the highest in terms of denial of service attacks in history, including the attack on DIN, which is a DNS service provider. I remember that attack very clearly in 2016. It slowed down the whole internet because this is the DNS provider that works with New York Times, with some Amazon services as well, with Netflix and so many other services around the world. To make matters worse, the creator of Mirai botnet decided they got bored eventually, and they decided to share the source code of Mirai botnet on the dark web for free. And so many malicious actors took a copy of this and created their own versions of botnets. And we had so many variants of Mirai botnet until this very day. 8 years later, we still suffer from Mirai botnet derivatives or variants. Let's move on to slightly newer attacks. Kaspersky says that there were over 100 million attacks on IoT devices in the first half of 2019. Silex malware infected, it sounds like a small number, 1,600 IoT devices. 2021, Botina Go, millions of routers and IoT devices. And another example is Verkada breach. Over 150,000 surveillance cameras around the world were hacked because of this, the breach of this company. So these are just simple examples, and these examples can also, get a lot. Windows 7, you remember that we used to receive updates and patches to Windows almost every day. A company as large as Microsoft, who has about 10,000 software engineers working on Windows, and those 10,000 is in their product every single day. Of course, that there are a lot of updates, but in reality, every single, so for example, the update of the month of March included 20 zero-day vulnerabilities that were not known before, were patched, very dangerous vulnerabilities in Microsoft Windows 10 and Windows 11. So continuous testing is extremely important. And that's how we issue timely patches. It's not only about testing the product before we sell it, it's actually about continuous testing so that we make sure that we are on top of security of our products. The last point is utilizing OTA updates or over-the-air updates, which means build the capacity of updating inside the device so that any person, even if someone who's not tech savvy, they can just click on an update button, or the device would automatically download and apply updates when it's not being used, so that it's easier for people to update these devices. Imagine what could happen if your phone did not have OTA updates, and that was the case 15 years ago when the first Android was released. There was no OTA update, there was no choice on the screen where you can click and update your phone. And I think the same applies to iPhones up to I think iPhone 3GS. Now, what do we expect from consumers on the other side? We talked about vendors, we kind of trashed the vendors and their practices, but now it's time to talk about consumers again. The first thing that we need to do as consumers, as people who purchase and use IoT devices, purchase the devices from well-known vendors. I know that the price difference could be very big. You could have something that's sometimes double the price, sometimes more than double the price. If it comes from a well-known vendor that is known for their care for security, for their continuous patching, then it is definitely worth the money. Second, ensure that devices are patched regularly. And I know that we all have this tendency, you're working on your computer, you get a pop-up that says there is an update, remind me later, remind me later, remind me later. And we keep postponing the update, but sometimes this could literally blow up in our faces because these patches could be really important and could cause a major breach if we don't patch them. Third requirement is to change default credentials. Just do not use default usernames and passwords because they are known by everyone, they are expected to be used, and it's really important that you change them. Finally, employ compensating controls when patches are late. So in cybersecurity, we have multiple types of security controls, including detective controls that are designed to detect attacks, preventive controls that are designed to prevent attacks, and then there is something called compensating controls, which are not our best choice. But if we, for example, we know that there is a vulnerability, but there is no update yet. So the vendor did not issue the update. They're working on the update. They haven't created the update yet. What do? Do we just sit there and wait for our device to be hacked? No. We apply compensating controls. If one service is, for example, considered vulnerable, we can close a port on our firewall. We can disconnect the device. If we don't need it urgently, we can disconnect the device until the update is available. In industrial environments, this is a very common practice. We even sometimes air gap these networks. I have seen factories where the systems are very old and they don't have any patches, and then I don't want to connect the factory to the internet anymore. It has its own local network. It's not connected to anything outside. And if you need to access something inside the factory, you need to go there and physically be inside the factory to access these devices in order to protect these devices from hacking online, because they have well-known vulnerabilities that have been there for a very long time. Now, final takeaway. When we think about smart devices at home, we think about a smart camera or a smart light or a smart TV, and someone hacks into that device. It's a very unpleasant experience, very annoying. And it's definitely a violation of privacy. It can cause a lot of problems. But let's move out of that context a little bit. What happens when the hacker does not hack into your home device, but the hacker hacks into an industrial IoT device that controls a nuclear power plant? What if they hack into an IoT device that controls water treatment facility? What if they hack into an IoT device that controls the smart grid, your electric grid? All of these are, it's not science fiction. It's not a Tom Cruise movie. These are actual scenarios that have happened around the world, have happened in countries where, countries that are basically proud about their security. We have seen attacks there. I understand that, hacking a device inside someone's home is a violation of privacy, and I'm not underestimating this, but if you take that device and you place it inside a water treatment, much riskier scenario, much higher risk. It impacts the lives of so many different people, and that's basically where we use IoT now. So we definitely need to reassess our priorities when it comes to IoT devices, whether they are inside our home, in a smart classroom, or in a smart car that drives itself, or in hospital if someone was able to hack to them and inject false information, false data that could cause serious health issues, because when the doctors have crawled into our lives very, very quickly, and we need to pay attention to its security just as much as we pay attention to the security of our servers, the security of our personal computers, IoT devices.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's a really wonderful session, sir. We have really enjoyed your entire.
Are quite sensitive in comparison to everything else that we discussed. And I think if we are not quite sure about security, it might be a good idea not to connect these devices to the internet. Never have these devices internet facing. In a hospital environment, for example, we can provide isolated, well segmented network, like separate VLAN for health IoT devices, so that at least we isolate them, we reduce the attack surface, so that not all other devices connected to the hospital network can see these devices can access the data going out of these devices. And definitely the other option would be to have properly secure devices, mostly very expensive. So for secure ones from well-known vendors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for your time. I've really enjoyed presenting this. I hope that you enjoyed listening. Yes, I think we have a question from
Thank
the
you
audience. MK?
Thank you for the insight that you have shared, Professor. Now I invite Dr. M. Mohammad Ali to deliver a vote of thanks.
Thank you.
I can't hear you.
Sir, no, sir. I'm not able to see your screen.
It's like something is hanging. Just a minute. Oh, yeah. The screen suddenly is frozen, so I want to know what is the problem. Wow. The screen suddenly is frozen, so just give me, yeah, okay. Okay, lovely. I think I'm back now. Sorry. Okay. All right. Can you say this now?
Sorry, sir. We are still not able to see your screen.
Can you hear me? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you, but we are not able to see the screen.
Can you see the screen?
Sir, we are able to hear you, but we are not able to see your presentation on the screen.
Okay.
Sir, your screen is not visible, sir.
Okay.
Can you send the PPT, sir?
Yeah.
Your presentation is not visible to us, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Can somebody give me the right to share the screen? I don't know. Do
Yes,
I
sir.
have
Yes,
the
sir.
right?
You can send me, sir. You can send the PPT, sir. I will share the PPT.
I'm trying to.
Okay, sir. Can you send me through the WhatsApp, sir? Or my WhatsApp number, sir?
Okay. Just a minute.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
systems, innovative research in smart systems. What is the secret of research excellence? Then we'll look at potential applications of smart systems, benefits of AI and smart systems. Then we'll look at the future directions and opportunities. We'll look at the conclusion at the end of this presentation. Now, one thing is clear, that we have a whole lot of technological landscape. The truth is that we have big potential of IT and smart systems, and it's going to drive innovation across all sectors, going using, especially when you talk about data analytics in artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, and every other cutting edge technology, quantum computing, and all of them. So we have these new opportunities and addressing challenges in our interconnected world. So we will explore the transformative power of innovative research, not just in research, but in harnessing the potential of IT and smart systems. So what we are looking at is delving into the latest advancements and trends. So we need to share the light on how pioneering research is shaping the future of technology and driving progress in diverse fields. So let's go on as we look at this technology, information technology and smart systems. Now, if we understand information technology and smart systems well, we know it's connected with everything from hardware to communication, to servers, to internet, to network, support systems, application. How do we make the security? What do we talk about? Big data, database. How do we connect them online? How do we protect them? So everything from information technology and smart systems is coming round. Now, the good thing about this is that it is not just for computer science alone. Last year, I was speaking in Indonesia, and they invited me to speak in lawyers' program. Imagine people who are judges. What do they have to do with with computing? But I told them that a time is coming that if we don't, there's so much background noise. Can you mute that microphone? There's so much noise on the background. Okay. So these are the things we are talking about in information technology. Looking at different areas of this information technology and how it will benefit us. Look at the challenges. There's so much noise in that place. Okay. Challenges in smart systems. We have the scalability. We have the data analytics system. We have the energy efficiency. We have the timeliness of analysis. Looking at the cost and storage. These are issues. These are research areas where people are needed to do research. Data integration, data cleanup, security and privacy, standardization, talent gap, interoperability, ethical consideration. These are all the things that happen in smart systems. There are challenges. How do we meet these challenges as researchers? How do we meet these challenges as researchers? How do we bring them up so that we can have a better system in smart systems? That is the goal of what we are doing. Now, look at the role of AI in smart systems. Enhance automation, intelligent decision making, predictive maintenance, personalized user experience, adaptive learning, data analytics, NLP, which we call the natural language processing, cognitive computing, autonomous operation. Then look at the ethical consideration, which is very important. That we have AI in smart system raises a whole lot of ethical considerations, such as privacy, bias, accountability, necessitating careful design and regulation to ensure responsible and ethical deployment. Now, these are all the things why we bring in artificial intelligence to check out the smart systems. Now, these areas I'm exploring to you today are the areas where research is so much, venues where we can do innovative research in every area. You know, in Bolton, we are now the first to bring in other faculties like psychology, medicine, arts, law, you know, and Greater Manchester Business School, bringing them with AI and computing. Because in the future, which is now, you cannot be able to function well in your field by neglecting artificial intelligence, especially in smart systems also. Now, that brings us into innovative research in smart systems. It encompasses a wide range of interdisciplinary efforts. Now, what do? We are trying to advance capabilities and functionalities of interconnected technologies. Can you still hear me? Okay. Okay. So from the development of advanced sensing technologies and energy efficient algorithms to the exploration of edge computing solutions and human-centric design principles. This is what we talk about Industry 5.0. Industry 5.0 has to do with bringing humanity into research. So we have striving research, like we're talking now. We want to address complex challenges and all these opportunities in smart system. It's not just creating smart system. It's not just writing about smart systems in our publications or in our conferences. No, it's more than that. It is the power of what we call disciplinary collaboration. That means a computer person can work in the oil field. A computer person can work in the law department. A computer person with AI or knowledge of smart system can work in business, which is, of course, in banks. So the field is so much for everyone that is studying anything, information, technology, and smart system. So we collaborate. But at the same time, we are careful with things that happen in terms of security, in terms of privacy, in terms of sustainability. And also, how do we bring this innovative research in smart system to seek and to harness the power, what we call the transformative potential of technology, while ensuring responsible and equitable deployment in our interconnected world. What are we talking about? That we are all connected. It depends on how we use it well. You know, as long as we are trying to help humanity. You know, these days we have a whole lot of people designing things to bring down other countries, to bring down other people. No, but technology should be innovative in terms of responsibility and equitability. These are the things we look at. Now, let's look at why do we need research in all these areas I've mentioned? They are hot areas. If our research shouldn't be on the past, no, our research should be on the future. The world is looking for tomorrow thinkers. It doesn't matter whether you're in India, whether in UK, whether you are in Africa, whether you are in US. No, we are looking for tomorrow thinkers. Now, look at what Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, how they define research. They define it as creative work undertaken on a systematic basis in order to increase the stock of knowledge. That is, knowledge of man, knowledge of culture, knowledge of society, and the use of this stock of knowledge to devise new applications. Now, why do we have iPhone 10? We have iPhone 11. We have iPhone 13. We have iPhone 14. Because every company, how do we say it? We say the life of every company depends on the research unit. For any company to move up, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, all of them, their life depends on the research. So how do we now do it in the university sector, where we're having this conference? How do we make JP, College of Engineering, how do we make them notable? So helping university to grow that's why we are here. We want the university to grow by the number. We will not also want students to be what we call breakout students that can form companies. So in the rankings, for instance, a school is ranked very well because of their research units. The research influence of a university is measured by the number of times their work by an academic at that university is cited by another scholar. Now, why do we do research? Personal growth. The more research visibility you have, the more the impact your opportunities for excellence. The more research visibility you have, the more impact you can have a job. The more research visibility, the more you can have your promotion. So we are talking about personal growth, not just only to university, it also to every area. Technological growth, world recognition. People say, oh, you're a senior member of IEEE, you belong to this, you belong to that, you are 2% top scientist because of my research. So how do we encourage everyone to do research in smart system? Now, we encourage this based on, look at the world ranking, for example. Can you see this world ranking? Teaching is good, but it's only 30%. So when you wonder why some schools are not in this world ranking scale, you begin to know that this is the reason. Research is neglected. Citations, international outlook, industry income. Teaching is good, paramount. People, you come to school to learn. But no, it is also how much research and income, reputation that the school does by their staff. Then you have citation. How do people cite your work? It is not just publishing a paper. No. How do they read your work? Do they read it in social media? These are the things that happens in research. Now, international outlook. How do you bring in international people like me now coming to speak in this conference? Or engaging international funding. Recently, we have 3 million EU funding with our partners all over the world. How do we relate with this? These are the things that make what we call the methodology of good research, especially in information technology and smart systems. Now, look at what I call the simple, stupid approach to research. The first thing is ask questions. As a student, as a researcher, how much do you ask questions? How do you brainstorm resources? How do you locate resources? Do you take notes? Do you organize your notes? How do you improve your notes? This is the basic of research. And I call it simple, stupid approach. How you start matters a whole lot. Now, look at what I designed that a whole lot of people have over 100,000 in the world. Every research, including the topic some of you are presenting in this conference, every research is based on what I call accurate. Are you approving a paper before, a base paper? Are you creating your new one? You want to create, so a topic can be a creation. A topic can be a recreation of what others have done. A topic can also be an improvement. That's why sometimes you say, oh, I got 20% The last paper got 20%, state of the art got 20%, but my research got 40%. Or my research got 50%. That is improving. Your research can also disprove a paper. It can disprove another research. Oh, they got this, but I discovered that they made a whole lot of errors. So there are a whole lot of things that happen with research. The important thing is, how do you organize it? We have the abstract. How do you look at, I tell people abstract is everything about the paper. The purpose, the structure, the contribution, the overview, informative, standalone, keywords, novelty, all these are abstract. Then you move into the introduction, where you have your research aim, your research question, your research objectives, summary of your proposal, contribution to novelty, a summary of your chapters. How do we look at literature review, where you look at the why and how? Literature in topic, literature in method. We're talking about how we improve research in information technology and smart systems. How do you find a whole, create a whole debate? Isn't it? So I made this in terms of looking at the methodology, research design. The figure of your model speaks a whole. Do you put algorithm in your paper? Do you use them in your data selection? Human subject review, cost and the funding? These are part of your methodology. Then you move into the result, evidence of importance. How do you inform methodology? How do you prove that what you have gotten from the findings are actually the result? And do you compare your result with other people's paper? What is the relationship? What are the important categories that you are working on? Then we'll come into discussion of research. Read the title, read the keywords, read the abstract, read the introduction, read the conclusion. If I find out that what I need is here from all these websites, i.e. Explore, I could search my papers there, then I can go on to read the whole paper. I give attention to the figures and tables to understand what a paper is talking about, how you bring out novel ideas. Now, every paper has what we call future works. It's in the conclusion. What is the future work saying? Every paper has an introduction. In the introduction, there are contribution of that work there. How do you bring them out to read? In 5 minutes, how you understand a research, and you move on to developing your own research structure. Now, look at now the potential applications of smart system. If we have understood how research works, how do we get this potential application? How? Number one is smart cities, water distribution, waste management. These are areas where we have smart systems working. Are we talking of energy engagement, grid automation, how you can predict that there will be light in your city there will be breakdown of light in 3 weeks. Wireless grid communication, wearables, smart watches, fitness and activity monitor. Look at home appliances. Fridge can speak to each one another, coffee maker, air conditioning, water heater. If we come to agriculture, smart farming, climate monitoring, forecasting, crop monitoring. You look at the cars, you have the automotive cars, you have the engine management. You look at the manufacturing, you look at industrial communication, production flow monitoring, improve field service scheduling. Now look at transportation, traffic management, IoT makes easy parking, vehicle location monitoring. These are all the areas, are we talking of health? In Bolton, we have actually I brought up what we call AI and medical application. If you see most of my writing, I was given honor by Society of Engineers in UK on my contribution to AI and medical application. Not just heart rate and blood pressure. We are using this now in terms of even curing leukemia, blood disease, cancer. A whole lot is going on in research. Now, in Bolton, we are trying to build up what we call robotic, performing surgery using robotic systems. So the whole lot that is already going on. And we're not talking of the homes, smart home, smart door lock, smart bulbs, smart thermostat. All this to make life easy. But these are all potential application of smart systems. Then, benefits of artificial intelligence, for example, we can work on interrupted manner, we can handle complexities, we have optimum utilization resources, we can do better decision, we have less scope for errors. These are the things AI can do for us. Not just that, in the future directions and opportunities for AI, this key note today is to explore your brain into see the opportunities that you have in smart system, especially in AI. If you go to our website, cotins.com, you'll see a whole lot of work we are doing there, especially in autonomous system, where we want to further the development of AI-driven autonomous system, including autonomous vehicles, drones, robotic platform. Now, what do we want to do? To enhance efficiency, we want to check the safety and want to know whether it is adaptable in various domains, especially like transportation, manufacturing, and logistics, just the last example I gave. Are we talking about predictive maintenance? Expanding AI application for predictive maintenance, where you see, we don't want to wait for another COVID to come. We want to be ahead of the game. That is why I said the world is looking for tomorrow thinkers. People who can think ahead. That is you'll be able to predict what will happen. Leverage it with machine learning algorithms. Anticipate equipment failure. Optimize maintenance schedule and minimize downtime. And what does that do? Saves costs. Protect life. So, cognitive assistance and all this is what we do to provide personalized recommendation and that. So, in conclusion, there are several to boost your H index. Collaborate with others from other parts of the world. Collaborate with people in other departments. See, the best person to read your paper is someone who is not in your faculty. Because your solution, your algorithm may be the solution they are looking for in agriculture. It may be the solution they are looking for in law. May be the solution they are looking for in medical applications. So, very important. As we stick to this research, we know we can do a whole lot of innovative work. Thank you very much. I can take some questions now if you have. Okay. Does anyone have a question to ask? There are a whole lot of people raising hand online. Just unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for your insight into smart systems. I would like to know whether there are any collaboration possibilities for collaborating on various research topics on smart systems with your esteemed institution. Is there any possibility for collaborating?
Yes. Now, the good news is that EU, European Union, and UK, they've now started funding that we teach, that will reach the third world, including India, Africa, and all that. So there's a whole lot of funding. In UK, there's now what we call Indian and UK funding. There's also funding with European Union that we're applying for. I have so many friends. You know, I'm four professor, visiting professor to 4 schools in India. You know, so I've been to Chennai. I've been to VIT. You know, last year I was there. So we are working with a whole lot of people. Now, connect with my CIO things. In June 7th, we're having a formal government launching, raising in Manchester, in Bolton. So We are collaborating a whole lot on smart system. My center will be collaborating with you as we go forward in this research. There are huge area, huge funding. We got 3 million last time with the EU, so we are applying for 7 million again, and we are working now on that funding. We are going to put the application before May. So there are huge opportunities. But like I said, you don't need money to make name. You just need idea. So money is not the problem. Someone will say, oh, I'm in Africa. I don't have money. That's why I don't do research. I said, no, the problem is idea. A man with an idea is a citadel of learning. So we need people with idea. You see, ChatGPT, AI cannot give you idea. I tell people, ChatGPT, AI is not creative. You are the one who is creative. Because they tell you what ChatGPT, AI tells you what has been. Anybody working with AI will understand that. But you are the creative person. And that is why we have Industry 5.0. So we have a whole lot of opportunities. Just connect. Add me up in your LinkedIn. For those who have LinkedIn, like I said, network. The more people you know, the more the channel of blessings. If you know less people, you know less people. You have less things. So expand your horizon. Meet out a whole lot of people. I normally call them, there are 4 kinds of people in the world. The one that add you, the one that subtract you, the one that multiply you, the one that divide you. Stick with those that multiply you. Those who bring out the best in you. Look out for them. They're there, waiting for you. Thank you. I can't hear you now. I think they have muted your microphone.
Thank you, sir. For your kind and encouraging words, we would like to collaborate at the earliest possible. So, are there any other questions?
There are some people who are raising their hand. Anyone online raising your hand? I can see them. Can you unmute your microphone and talk? Okay. Okay. We can't hear you. The conference we are planning in Morocco. So they gave us access to publish papers. So Springer is good, like this conference you are having. Now, I'm IEEE brand ambassador, but I tell IEEE, you guys are too expensive for third world countries, for Africa, for India. We pay too much money. So, but Springer doesn't charge money, because it's free and it's also in Scopus. So any journal or any that encourages Scopus is okay, especially in UK, publication. So for conferences like this, you can use Springer, for it. But like I said, the secret of also going other journals with IEEE journals or Springer journals or Elsevier journals, or expert systems, Wiley, these are all the areas where we can publish. So there's no specific one. But look for journals that are open access. They allow your work to be read by others. Now, that means some of them pay money. Like one we did yesterday, they told me to pay £3,000. Now, if you tell someone in India to pay £3,000, you're going to cook him like tikka masala to bring out that money. So how will he get £3,000? How much is his salary? So the truth is, connect with others. Now, most people in UK and Europe, we have government paid for us already. We are hoping that in the next future, we'll have that kind of thing in, our government in India and Africa can be able to pay. But now they can't pay. So what do? Collaborate with those ones in Europe, and you can publish. What they'll do is they will pay the article publication cost for you, while you will still be showed in the paper. Don't go to be one person. Oh, I want to be only one author in the paper. I tell people it's wrong. Besides, one author in the paper, it takes you more than 1 year to write that paper. By the time your result is out, your research is already old. You see? So I tell people, you have idea, bring it out, 3 months publish. You have idea, bring it out, 3 months publish. You write a paper for 1 year. The day you started the paper, and then you wait till 1 year before you publish, that idea is already old. So connect with people, and you have your publications published. Like now, today I have opportunity for 30 papers. That is good. So if somebody connects with me now, what happened? We do joint collaboration and we'll publish as many as possible. Last year, I had 52 publications. Last year alone, So every year I increase. Last 2 years, I have 36. This year, already I have 16. Yesterday we sent in some papers. So the more you go, the more people you know, the more the channel of miracles. So that is it. Thank you.
Sir, my question belongs to the researchers. I mean, once they are entering into the research field. So there many of them have the doubt that in which area they have to choose their research field. I mean, belong to their interest or belong to their guide specializations. So which one is comfortable for them? Please give your suggestions.
Okay, whether you go with normal publication or whether you go with special issue. Is that? Yes. Now, okay, that is the question. Special issue or normal publication. Now, in terms of normal publication, I had a paper. It took the editor almost 2 years, 1 year and 6 months. My paper was under review because it was normal publication. When it was finally accepted, I wrote the editor, I said, don't publish it. He said, why, Celestine? I said, the research is old. I have to redo it again. Because when I sent in the paper, it was fresh. Now imagine it was on COVID, and we said, 20,000 died in Brazil. But by the time the result came out, it was more than 20,000 that died. Now, if someone takes my paper, will they cite me? They won't cite me. Because they said, Celestine wrote 20,000, but the new record is 200,000. So what has that made my research? Old. So why I quarrel with so many editors, I understand, everybody is very busy. Most of them are not paid, and most of them are also old men. By the time they finish eating tikka masala, they sleep off and they take some drink. They sleep. So when they wake up, they don't walk the way people like us walk. So what are we saying? So they take time. So I tell people, publish in journals that will show your result. Now, the publication, even though it's now important, but what is more important is what will your research do? I want Professor Mohammed to show that, my slide, to share it around to everybody so that you understand what will my research do. Every research should be to help humanity. So I look for journals where they publish 1 month, 2 months with good reviews. That is where special issues come in. So some schools will say, oh no, if a student want to graduate, don't go special issue, do normal publication. I say you don't want the student to graduate. If you want students to graduate, their result to be on to go and form a company, and then you have to make them publish fast. Conferences is also very good if it is well reviewed. So special issue is good. Special issue makes it faster for publication. Of course, we have people who have messed special issue up. We have people who collect money. We have people who manipulate special issue, But that is why we have people who review even after publication. You see that? One of my paper was retracted, and I was so annoyed. It was a good paper. And I said, no, we did everything. But what happened? One of the editor of the place was using it for business. Answer your question.
So I would like to thank our Dr. Celestine Ivanti, Research Scholar, School of Creative Technology from University of Boston, United Kingdom, for his valuable time and for enriching our knowledge on smart systems and information technology. Thank you, sir, for defining what research is, various research methodologies, and secrets of excelling in research, and in particular the role of smart systems, the challenges that are presently in various smart systems, the role of AI in smart systems, the potential applications of smart systems, benefits of future directions, and for discussing about the opportunities in smart systems. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank the management of our institution and seek the blessings of our founder father, Reverend Father Dr. J.E. Arulraj Father, for successfully conducting this, permitting to conduct this international conference on information technology and smart systems 2024. I would like to thank our administrator, Reverend Sister Hamlet, and our principal, Dr. Rajkumar sir, head of the departments of various departments like electrical and electronics engineering, computer science engineering, and electronics and communication engineering, and all the organizing committee members for granting permission and for successfully organizing this international conference. I would like to thank the volunteers, various staffs of these departments, the students, participants from our institution and from various other institutions for submitting your research papers relevant to this conference. Finally, I would like to thank the Almighty God for enabling us to organize this event in this year in a successful way. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The evening session have come to an end. Thank you all for your cooperation. Paper presentation will begin shortly at tomorrow 10:30 a.m. Participants are requested to join your using the respective links.
All right, thank you.